Northwest Motocross. Are you ready for the 30 Plus 2 podcast with Gravy and Gate Drop? Let's go!
All right.
Yeah.
We are back after unexpected time off, unfortunately. Last Monday, some stuff came up last second, and I had to pull the plug on the 30 Plus 2 podcast. But luckily, Grayson has gracefully came back.
Oh,
And
I'm
our
not
guest
going nowhere.
Our guest tonight, Jason Valley with Next Level MX Clinics, will be on at 6:45. So
Nice.
for anyone tuning in, it looks like I got one of the Facebook groups to work again. So hey,
Yeah, that's good. I saw a notification pop up my phone said the Northwest Media is up and running. So that's
we're
good.
trying here.
That's good. That's better.
And we're back, and it's sunny. It was hot as balls last
Yep.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since I've talked to your face, Grayson. How's
It's
it
been a
been
while.
going lately?
Not too bad. Enjoying this nice weather, working a lot. Got to work a Harley swap meet this weekend, which was pretty cool. Wasn't around dirt bikes like I really wish I would have been, but I was around motorcycles, so it was cool. It was fun.
I was going to say 2 wheels. I
Yep.
mean, they're
They're-
Harleys and saddlebags
Yep.
and people in assless chaps.
Yep.
So
There's a few chaps out there, that's for sure. Yeah.
hey, you got all your fun stuff. You got more than you wanted to as well. So
No,
yeah,
it was good. How you been? How's going to the track? You've been a few times now.
well, so where are we? So last weekend was the weekend I went to Horn Rapids because everything on the West Coast. Yes, so that is correct.
Everything
I'm trying
shut
to get
down.
my
Yep.
timetable back together. For anyone that's tuning in, Jason Valley will be on at 6:45 with us knuckleheads here. I decided I would go to Horn Rapids for rounds 3 and 4 of the Black Widow series. So I decided let's travel last minute since everything was canceled on the West Coast. We traveled over there for Saturday and Sunday, like 30 plus mile an hour winds. 65 kids were getting blown away like kites in the air. And then it rained on Sunday, one moto format. I put 800 miles on the Sprinter within 3 days.
You're doing a lot of driving.
So
what is it from your place? Like about a 6-hour drive up there, 7 hours?
Round trip, it's about 4 hours one way, so 8
Okay.
hours altogether.
Not the
And
worst.
then this past Thursday and Friday, we did Thursday night motocross after a 2-week break due to rain, and it was warm. We went from cold to warm real quick. Was not ready for that temperature change. And then Friday night was opening night of Moto Pacific. For anyone that has not checked out Moto Pacific yet, go do it. Go check it out. It's up in Kent, Washington area. Check out the Instagram reel I just posted about 5 o'clock. We've been busy today busting out reels and photos and Carson Brown material and Sean Wilson material and Taco Bell material, all the materials.
Working hard trying to get out of that retail life right now.
Yeah, we've cut down to 2 days, and now I'm gonna take some time as well to work on more stuff I could write off, since all the other people and bureaucracies and whatnot know how to write everything off apparently. Right. And yeah, that trip to Jamaica was for business.
Yeah, we had a 5-minute business meeting in the morning, and
we had a business meeting with the pina coladas. It was definitely for tax purposes.
It is. Write everything off nowadays.
Yeah, dear U.S. government, I am not trying to scam you. Anyways, yeah. So Supercross is completed. Do we just start off with like the dramatic just?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
honestly,
that's how I felt when Hampshire got a good start this weekend.
A little too dramatic for me. I mean, yes, I kind of sat in my chair and I was sad, but I mean, it was starter cross, and although our favorite Levi Kitchen did not get the championship,
it was amazing.
It ain't the end of the world.
No, he did great. You know, for somebody who is still fairly new to the professional scene, he did great. Changing teams, everything that he's done this year. He should be happy with himself. Obviously, he's going to be a little disappointed, but
yeah, I mean, obviously, with any champion, I would assume you're bummed when you don't get it when you are trying to get it. But what I really appreciate about Levi, and I'm pretty sure other people have done it. I haven't really seen any baby like remarks or anything from like champions that like end up not getting it. Like even AC when he blew it on his own and Ferrandis got the championship, like he owned it, and there was nothing that Levi couldn't have done. He didn't crash out of it. He rode his best. He unfortunately ran out of time, and he was very positive even in his post. Like, thank you all for supporting me, and he's focused forward. And this could be, in my opinion, as well as other media people that do the actual media work instead of just two local junkies in their house here. You could use this fuel for the outdoor title and possibly be the outdoor champion of this year, and then go at it again next year for Supercross because he has time. He is obviously, in my opinion, that doesn't really work. The number one rider for Pro Circuit, and at some point, I believe he's gonna get a number one plate on Monster Chaos Hockey's door and get them back on the path that they've been on for a long time.
I'd really like to think that he still has a really good shot at that, SMX championship though, which is a big deal. It's
is true.
It's not a Supercross title or an outdoor title, but like to be the overall champion of both, like that's saying something. And he has a really good shot at that. So
yeah. I just, I of course we wanted to see, because we were a little biased as the Northwest. We wanted him, and nothing against RJ, and it was really cool to see RJ. I really like the photo, especially of his daughters, like like that was really cool. And if it was anyone else, like they both deserved it. If they could have cut the plate in half and gave it like each half to them, like that would be cool too. But there's only one champion at the end.
It was RJ's time. He's been waiting for this for a long time, and he's finally gotten there. So props to him, and he deserves it. Not saying that Levi doesn't deserve it either, but like of anybody, like you're saying, how many years has he been in that class? 9 or 10 years now, and he finally has got the championship. So awesome for him. He's a cool dude, and like they keep saying in all the races that him and Levi are buddies. So like, what a better way to like lose a championship to like one of your fishing buddies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like that's pretty cool.
There was no shenanigans towards each other, unlike the other shenanigans side.
Well, it's like what happens when you have 11 riders on your team. I'm pretty sure eventually they're gonna butt heads, like Deegs and what was it Smith did there for a minute, which.
That got weird.
That caught me off guard. That was a little awkward for a second.
Yeah, so. I was like, there was so many like battles going on, and one thing that I was kind of like watching, which I don't know if it would have made a difference or not, but like the start obviously screwed Levi. It was starter cross. He kept going inside, around the starting gate section. I just felt like that was really messing him up. Like I was like, oh my God, just go outside and follow the guy for one moment and then slam him in the corner, which I don't know if it resolved himself. Honestly, he's the only one that can answer to that. But from the TV, that's the only part where I'm like, right. Maybe go outside and like hang on the backside and then like cut in and then get to him sooner. But
he was doing that turn, that was it 3 onto the table after the start, which he was one of the only few guys doing it there for a while. And when he was able to get around that first turn smoothly, like he was flying through that section because he was one of the only guys 3 and onto the table, which I felt was way faster.
Well,
for whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah, and then just like also in like the 450 class, like the track was really hard to pass. Like there was 90 degrees. Like they kind of follow the outside rim. And then, the rain came down. It was super dry. Did you watch the futures and whatnot? Like
I did.
before?
That was a dust storm. Like that was so bad.
Yeah.
That
I
track was
was
it was terrible. It looked like Albany at 6 p.m. after a whole weekend.
Yeah, I was not. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. And it looked like the rain helped. I'd have to ask Supercross people, like, where do you go when you're like evacuate the area? It's like what, you go into the parking lot and then get struck by lightning? Like,
they scurry
where do you go?
They scurry you back into the concessions and stuff like that. I had a buddy of mine who had to evacuate from WrestleMania last year, which think about that. There's like 100,000 people going into the tunnels and the concession stands. That looked uncomfortable. Like people looked miserable trying to get through there when they called that evacuation.
Okay,
but
that makes some more sense
but
now.
If you still watch it, there's so many people still standing around at their seats. Like it's not like you can really do anything. I felt like they were being a little too precautious about that, but I understand they have to.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was just like, what are we doing? Like, hey, don't stand here, but also like, good luck.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's kind of all I got from it. So anyways, that's all I got really. I mean, were you really shocked about what happened in the 450 class?
No, that basically played out how anybody would think it was going to happen. The only thing like I could say that I'm genuinely surprised about from today than the first day we did this podcast was Vial getting the championship. That's the only thing that stands out that I'm like, damn, I was way off on that one.
Sorry, I am, as you can tell, I'm like multitasking.
Right. Nothing new for you.
Yeah. Just trying to get something done here. We do have Jason is 4 minutes.
Here in a few minutes.
Yeah, so let me just do one little thing here. Anything else jump out for you as I try to quickly put this together?
Not really from this weekend, but the one we missed last week with Hunter actually getting a really good ride in that main event there for a while. We didn't really touch on that because we weren't on last week, but that was cool to see. He's come a long way this year, and he's really, I think, proven a bunch of people wrong, especially since the beginning of the year. He started off tough, but good on him for getting that second place. And I knew Jet wasn't gonna let him win it. He wasn't gonna pull a Ricky Bobby. You can't have two number ones, like
shake and bake, shake and bake.
Like, was it Matthew Miner saying that the local boys making the maid, Preston and Max Miller? That was awesome. Preston getting some TV time there in the tunnel. That was pretty cool to see.
Well, so at first I'm like, oh, cool, like Preston's on there, and then I'm all like, I just had a thing. I was all like, oh, well, Daniel knows him, but Daniel didn't interview him. Jason Thomas did. Stupid.
Well, Daniel's not doing any Supercross stuff this year, I heard.
That is true. I know. I had a brain fart on which man had the microphone there, and I'm like, you're an idiot, Christoph. So
no, that was cool. We had Levi, Max, Preston in there. That was so cool to see.
Max was making me highly nervous there when it came to. I'm like, please just get in and then get away.
Seeing them celebrate after the finish line in the LCQ was cool. Seeing them.
It was like a Bar X Suzuki commercial.
That was LCQ. Awesome. Suzuki is the LCQ champion right now.
Yeah. All right. It is 6:43. We kind of touched on Supercross. Let's jump in with our guest who thankfully had a flexible schedule, or he made time, or he's just gonna grill me here.
He's gonna give you a lot of crap right now.
It's Jason Valley with Next Level MX Clinics. You see what I did there? Since you're not on screen, I put a stock photo, and now the Jason's gone all together.
Where did he go?
He's playing coy. Let's see what happened. He keeps jumping out for some reason, so let's try this again. Whenever you are ready. Well, we'll keep bantering as we wait for him to come back on. The ultimate psych right there.
Was he waiting for a minute and then he was like, I'm out?
I don't know what happened. Could be technical difficulties. That's
Right.
usually what works on the 30+2
Yep.
low budget podcast.
Hey, maybe one day somebody will pay us and we can get a little bit better.
Over time, we will update, and I have Comcast internet. All of a sudden, our whole system goes down.
Just down.
Well, as we wait for Jason to come back,
Yep.
I heard a bloop.
Oh.
Ah,
Is he there?
is he on?
Is he in the green room?
Is this the magical person, Jason Valley?
It's really blurry. There, wait.
Can you hear us, Jason? Come in.
Are you there? I don't. Maybe.
Your
I
mic
think
is not working.
we were struggling with this with Evan the other day. With
Yeah,
the
Evan had
sound.
some issues too. I'm just gonna leave it there. Mic on.
See. Oh,
if
and he's gone.
that's the problem.
I feel like a creeper with his picture in front of me right now.
Sorry, I only have 2 hands. Coming up this
Need a
week.
production assistant over there.
Well, when you get your own Travis Marks at some point, we can
Yep.
do that. It says I'm denied. I don't know, bro. Well, what's going on?
This weekend seems like a lot's going on.
All right.
See, is he coming back?
All right. Can we get anything out of Jason? Feel free to jump in.
Test one. You
Test
there?
1, 2, 3. We have the JV.
Is he using his phone or?
Yeah, I think so.
I know when I logged into it the first time, it asked me if it wanted to allow the device to use the microphone. So that's the only thing I can think of. And something in the settings isn't allowing this to use it.
Audio. It's working. Yeah. There should be an option there for you, Jason, to turn your microphone on. I'm trying to have it work on my screen, but it's not. So as you're working on that, yeah, this weekend we have Washougal MX Park Classic 7 rounds 3 and 4. Ryan also added a Friday practice. So you have that all going on at Washougal. One of the biggest race events that goes on right before Washougal Regionals. And then if you're not going to Washougal, PRO at Airway X in Spokane, Washington, around 5 and 6. For anyone that's wondering where I'm going to be, hopefully you pay attention and are looking at my post. I will be at Washougal. I will not be at PRO. Unfortunately, I cannot be at 2 places at once, and I am the film guy for both.
Well, why can't you? What are you doing, man? Come on.
Well, I don't think cloning's happening anytime soon. So, I mean, unless they just clone cats and cows or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, that's
good.
all that's going on. Thursday night motocross, PIR.
Albany, I think, has its summer series Saturday, Sunday. So
Albany may have some stuff.
I'll be down there on Sunday if the rain holds out, but it looks like it should.
I don't know if you can hear me or not, Jason. Feel free to just talk, and if not, maybe restart your phone or device, or I can send it to your computer. However you want to do it. I'm just bantering for the moment as we continue to pop in and out. We at least know the connection,
the connection's good.
Out.
It's his sound. It's weird.
It's just the sound and video part, the 2 basic parts that you need.
Just have him text in the comments on YouTube or something to us.
Would you like to just text in the group?
Group chat.
Start typing like Stephen Hawking's and have an audio thing there. So, anyways, once Jason can get his stuff going on, I don't understand why it's not working. I don't know if it's what it's going on for him. What else you got going on for everything? Yep. If you have a question, audience, 16 people on here, feel free to write in the comments and we can answer them while we try to see what is going on Jason's part.
Right.
Not putting any blames on him. I'm just saying.
Here's one I've been thinking about for you that maybe you want to answer now before he jumps
Questions with Christoph.
Yeah. So say you're a team manager, any team manager. Who's one factory rider that you want to kick off the team, and who is one privateer you'd bring in to replace them now after this Supercross season?
Very hostile. I don't know if you listened to
I'm going hot for it. Like, we're gonna piss some people off.
I don't know if you like listened at all to the post-race interviews that Mathis did, but he did one with the Troy Lee crew chief, and he was very heated against Ryder D and Pierce Brown. Like, I was like, damn, he is getting hot.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah,
so
that's rough.
He was like, yeah, I'm trying to remind myself that D. Francisco's a rookie, but man, get your crap together. Like, was what he was saying. I was like, damn.
That's rough.
I don't go to Hannigan Bryson. That is 5.5 hours for me. So I never go up there. Moto Pacific is as far as I go. So that answers your question. I go to the real Thursday Night Motocross. Nothing against Hannigan, but it's actually trademarked by Thursday Night Motocross in Portland, Oregon. So they need to come up with a different name.
Figure something else out. Yeah, no, I'll have to check that out. That sounds pretty crazy. He's throwing Ryder under the bus there. I think he did really well for his first year. Like, you can't really, you can't have expectations for these rookies right now.
Yeah,
the classes are so stacked with the factory riders that you got to give him some leeway, and I think he did well for what he was given.
Yeah, and it's so hard. I would say, well, what privateer has really outshined anyone?
Well, you know what I mean, like somebody who's made a decent amount of main events, or who do you think, I don't know, or just who would you kick off a factory team right now to make some space? Like, there's a few riders I can think of that.
See, I don't have the skill set of pretending. I just I'm so realist. I'm like, well, I think Romano is probably sweating, in my opinion, even though he's still technically a rookie. Because what happened to that other guy, like LeBlanc, he got I think he got taken off Star real quick for not even gone. And he didn't even have a Supercross season. He just had motocross, and that was it. And then he gone.
Yep. No.
Do we count Marek Suzuki as a privateer team? This is the gray area that I kind of
It's like Club, It's that
I don't look at Club as a privateer team either, because they have some support. So this is the argument that goes on till the end of time with actually all the media people is who's a privateer? Is Grant Harlan the privateer? I look at privateer as you drove Chance Blackburn in your own van with your Subway cups and sandwiches or whatever, in the dash, and that's what I see as a privateer. So that's where it's
that's the satellite teams,
Yes, the satellite teams. It's like a 3-tier system.
Yep, that's how I feel too. It's that they have a decent amount of support, but obviously, they're not getting the exact factory engines that PC is getting or Star is getting and stuff like that. But to say that their bikes aren't better than the privateers that are just showing up in box trucks in the back of their pickup and stuff like that, that's. They're definitely leaps and bounds ahead of some of them, that's for sure. But
yeah. So I mean, if you were to play that game, but then it's let's say you take Base Flug, which I hope Mathis will get that burned in his brain at some point. It's pronounced Base Flug, not Base Plug.
It won't happen.
Base Plug, just get it
right.
Let's say you Base Flug on a gas. So
let's take Ryder spot
on here and see if his audio works.
Are we there?
Let's say you throw Preston on a gas. It's a totally different bike. Is he going to perform better or worse? Only time would tell. And they don't usually do race, they don't usually do the tryouts anymore, even throwing random riders on. So I don't think you're hyperbole. I tried to say it. A word I don't think it just would work.
No.
If I were to put any guesses, but I also don't know contracts, I would say Red Bull Gas is going to clean slate at the end of the year and get other.
I think so too.
and it's unfortunate. I don't, a lot of these
No.
cards, especially like Star Yamaha, they like vote people off the island.
Mm-hmm.
In like weekly.
Yeah.
What happened to Mosman? He's just gone again.
Nope. Their turnaround is so high. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why they have so many bikes out there. It's so funny that Yamaha won the manufacturing championship.
He kind of looked confused.
They didn't win a single championship. It's just because Star has 11 bikes in one class. Like,
He kind of looked like when he walked up there, like,
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm up here, but
Right.
okay, thank you for the trophy. Yeah, go Yamaha, bye.
Right? Yeah. The manufacturer over, in Japan and stuff like that's probably stoked on that, but over here we're just like, this means nothing to us.
Yeah.
But
Jason is having technical difficulties. I'm not sure if
Damn.
we're gonna get him on tonight or not.
we'll have to have him come into studio one of these days then.
Yeah, maybe I'll just record at the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got regionals coming up. Yeah, he's driving, which I don't want to like text him.
Oh, he's driving? Oh, that's even worse.
I don't want him to get like to the
That's-
next level in the wrong direction.
That's probably what's going on. He's driving, it's not connecting, or it's Bluetooth or something's connected.
Well,
or
that's what
something.
I said. I was all like, well, it sounds like your phone keeps trying to connect to your truck, maybe. Like,
Yeah, I heard something the last time he came on. It made a little bit of a noise and then it was gone.
yeah. So,
We'll just do
Jason
some pre-recorded here and there
Yeah.
if we have to,
It'd be like how we do with like Tonus and all the Thomas
Yep.
or whatever, like just
Yep.
like a pre-recorded session. Listen to our pre-recording. Might have to do that. So everyone that was anticipating Jason on being on, I messaged him asking if he wants to try another time. So we will find out. But you're stuck with us two knuckleheads as we hit the 27-minute mark. So let's transition into this being an open-end podcast.
Yeah.
What do you like about it? What lacks? What do you want to see happen for the future of our podcast? Feel free to write any of that in there. For example, we had Evan Trelecki on the last time we did 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Want to get more amateurs on here. Obviously, I want to do just for safety and also professionalism, like, put the little like cutouts of the riders, like this guy on the screen versus an actual camera for some of our amateur riders, just for reasons.
Yeah.
You
No,
can
if they
fill
don't-
in the blanks.
If they don't
So-
feel comfortable, we got them covered, but we can still get some interviews,
Well, it'd be cool to get like, interview from like Jax McCarthy or, a couple of our super mini riders and others, but also make sure that, their identity is remaining inside the helmet and goggles. So
For sure.
that's how I kind of want to roll with things, just because the internet's weird these type days now.
Yeah.
So
Got to watch yourself a little bit.
yeah, you know how I am about safety with flagging and everything else. I just want to always keep our stuff safe.
Yep, for sure.
Got Jason on the phone. Should we try this?
Just
Hey,
hold the-
Jason, I have you on speaker.
Hey, what's up?
Is that coming through?
Oh yeah, I hear him.
Yeah,
All
I can
right,
hear
so
you fine. That's funny.
I'm just gonna go live with the microphone here.
Yeah, and so I've been trying to get on for the last 10 minutes, and it just for some odd reason, and when I hit mic, it just doesn't turn on.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, that's
Yeah.
iStream for you. So we're just gonna go a different style. Grayson, does it sound all right on your end?
Sounds good to me.
All
I don't
right.
know. Can he hear me though? I don't think he can.
No,
'cause
he
I'm
can't
via
hear you,
headphones.
but I'll just have you chime in whenever. So
Yeah.
this will be our other our alternative here. So
Yeah, no, I can come on another time too, but let's do it. Whatever we got, man.
yeah, it looks funny on the screen, but that's all right. Who cares?
It's always about adapt and overcome, right? That's motocross. Anyway,
Yeah, pretty much. So
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna call in. You can't hear Grayson, so Grayson will just like relay his questions to me, and I'll just read it to
absolutely.
you. So
Yeah.
for those that don't know Jason Fowler, he's with Next Level MX Clinics. Sorry,
Clinics.
Yeah.
I word mumble here. He mainly does a lot of stuff up in the northern part of Washington, but he goes all over the place. For example, you had the spring break MX camp. What was that, like a month ago now? Time is flying.
Yeah, that was in April, third week of April at Horn Rapids. We do it every year. This was our fourth year, and every year it gets better and better. So.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for being there too, man. That was awesome having you there, and it brought the energy and a lot of great photos, and helped me a lot too, because you're good on the mic, and I'm not, and it gives me time to work hard and run the camp and train as well, and it takes some pressure off me, and I'm excited for the next one too. So.
Yeah, I mean, for my first experience, like checking out what you have to offer and whatnot, like it didn't feel like to me like, oh, we're just gonna go and we're gonna like ride around cones and do all this stuff, like learn these. Like, no, you had like a lot of camaraderie there. You had stuff that I really wish I stuck around and listened to, even your guys' parent meeting. Like, there's so much there to offer. And there was just so much fun. It just kind of felt like a camping trip with dirt bikes. And then obviously you got your training involved too, but the fun vibe and then learning experience was more than like sitting in like, you know, a PE classroom, if you kind of get what I mean.
Absolutely. I mean, we want to make it an experience, right? And that was the first thing involved with doing a camp. When I first started talking about doing camps, I met with one of my good buddies, and who works his butt off with the camp, Jason Bowman, is like, let's do a camp. And we thought about and how do we want to do a camp? Do we want to just, you know, do the whole show up on the track and start riding, do some instruction, or do we want to make it like a camp where it's an experience, and we have parent seminars, and we have food, and we have entertainment, and bring it all together to make it that experience, that Disneyland experience where people want to come back all the time. And then I get an opportunity to meet, you know, to partner up with Mike Smith, who's obviously great at bringing exposure and environment and culture, and Sean and Rob and everybody else that's been involved with it, and then bring on you as well, and more people as we grow. I mean, it just keeps growing, and it's been an amazing experience, and you know, we want to do this every year, and then we got one coming up at Horn Rapids here in a few months, exactly about 90 days from now, in August.
Nice.
Up at Hannigan Motorsports Park, and man, they've done a really amazing job up there. I'm up there every Thursday for the races, and that track is they've really developed it to be a good race track, and it's actually one of my best places to go watch racing, because it's rough, it's gnarly, it's rutted. You know, you don't see a lot of that in the Northwest, and they're really bringing that national level motocross track to the Northwest up there. So.
Yeah, I saw some photos and whatnot from the like prior Thursday with Castle, and I was like, holy cow, this kind of looks like Southwick up there at Hannigan. A lot of ruts, and definitely not a freeway.
No, it's so cool because, you know, I used to go to Hangtown all the time. We'd drive down there for a weekend and just train there, and we'd go down there for all the events and all the major motos and all the qualifiers. And, you know, in Hangtown, they drop all those rice shucks on the track before a weekend and dump a bunch of water. And it's like a foot and a half deep of just soft rice that blows out and creates all these, you know, holes and that you can't see, and it gets really gnarly, and then it grinds in, and it becomes a really good rough racetrack, and it really reminds me of that experience up at that track. It's just in the beginning it's just soft, and then it just develops into this gnarly track, and I really can't say how amazing they're doing up at that track.
Yeah, so taking a little bit of a step back, since we've been talking about camps and tracks and whatnot, for you, like, how did you get into moto and then get into all your training aspects and all that stuff? Like, obviously you had like, you know, your own rider, Trey Valley there. Do you want to explain a little bit your history in motocross, and then like how you got into doing, you know, your athlete training and classes?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in motorcycles all my life. Since I was young, riding dirt bikes, racing dirt bikes, and I started in flat track. My cousin was one of the top national flat track racers in America before he had an unfortunate incident ended his race career. And from that point on, it kind of damped my whole motocross experience, or motorcycle racing experience as a younger teenager. And then I kind of got into ball sports, and I went to the ball sports avenue and played college baseball, and I played with the Phillies minor league baseball, and my whole vision was to have my first child as a baseball player, which is odd. But so I played a lot with the Phillies and played with the Cougs. I had a lot of mental aspects with professional sports, some confident issues and some mental blocks, and I did a lot of mental training with some sports psychologists all through my whole college career and minor league baseball career, which just absolutely just skyrocketed my race career. And after I got done playing that baseball, I always wanted to get back into motorcycles, and so I got back in, and I was a hooligan on the street with I had a CBR 1000, and I had a Ducati 999, and I decided to take it on the track, and I actually got into the road racing aspect of it.
Oh.
And I road raced for 5 years and won a couple of championships in Portland and did some SIR racing and stuff like that. And as Trey was growing up, he was starting flat track, and I really wanted to push him into the road race career. And for some odd reason, he got into that game on ATV MX. I think it was. What was the first one?
MX was ATV Unleashed and MX Unleashed.
Yeah, whatever the first one is, right?
ATV
So he got into some dirt bike riding.
ATV Off-Road Fury.
Yeah. So after I got him into flat track, he gets into this video game, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this." So I took him to the first arena cross race, and man, that was back in the days when I was out in Rainier area, but some little horse barn arena cross race. And he's like, "I'm hooked." So we went to Horn Rapids, and he raced, and coming full circle, obviously his race career developed, and he was one of the faster amateur racers around the Northwest. And as he started getting into the level where he needed to move and go train himself, I said, I really need to take what we've developed with him, and I've had a lot of parents pushing me and to help some kids, and I started doing that locally, and then I turned it into a business about 5 years ago. And my experience with the professional athlete, being a pro baseball player and a road racer, and the mental aspect that I developed from having to do this sports psychology, and I've been a personal trainer in the gym industry for 20 years now, and I still have clients in the gym that I train, and I kind of just put those together and said, you know what, I think I want to do what my passion is I love motocross. I just love it, and I love the kids that I train, and I love the families that I help mentor through the process of developing a child athlete to get to that. And that's why I called it To That Next Level. And, one of the things that I think that I have going for me is I have actually had to put a kid from 6-year-old to 17-year-old through that motocross grind, and I know what it takes to the good parts of it, and the positives and the negatives, the highs and lows, because you're gonna experience them all. So that's kind of how I got into it. And so 5 years later, here we are now. And we've got a lot of amazing talent and a lot of amazing relationships developed. So.
Yeah, you obviously are growing. Grayson's got some questions. I'll relay to you once he says them.
No, yeah.
Absolutely.
So we've seen that Trey's not really riding as much lately. What's keeping you in the motocross scene the most? Because once parents and their kids stop riding as much, they kind of separate from the scene. What's keeping you in the Northwest moto scene?
So Grayson asked, I don't know, you probably can't hear any of it. With Trey not really being active anymore on motocross and whatnot, what keeps you wanting to be involved even without seeing your own rider on the track? What keeps you wanting to do the grind and whatnot in motocross?
I mean, I just love to see the smiles on these kids' face. I just love to see the growth. I mean, I've had some kids that started with me since they were on T-dubs, and now they're competing for Loretta's.
Yeah.
And it's insane. And the fact that I just love being on the track and I have so many friends, obviously that's a part of it, but the success to watch people develop so quickly is my reward. And I'm very competitive. I mean, I think you know that. and our culture is winning. Our next level culture is winning. And we win in love, we win in experience, and we win in moto. And that's our whole goal as a team. You know, we've really tried to build next level as a team environment. And anybody that trains with me 1 day a week, 1 day a month, 1 day a year, 4 days a week, you know, we try to build that team environment. And to sit there, you know, we show up and we have a big tent. And the fact that we can have a riders meeting and all get together and put our hands together like a football team, and we always have a saying that we say, and I won't say it now, but you've probably heard it before. But we have a really big team environment, and I feel like it's just something that we've done that in this time is we've built this environment to where these kids want to be a part of this team, and that keeps me motivated. That to see these kids and see the success and watch them grow, they motivate me. And it is a grind because I do have a full-time job and I do travel all over the place. Steven, I have 3 jobs. I have this, and I personal train in the gym, and I do the motocross. you know my normal job. So it is a grind, but I wake up and I can't wait to get back to the track to see my kids.
Nice. I know we've had you on for 13 minutes here, so I know, and you got to get back to other stuff as well. Going forward, we got regionals coming up. Grayson, you got anything else you want to chime in before I jump into my final questions?
I think it's pretty much covered it. The only thing I have left is, what does he like better, the team sports that he used to do, playing baseball, or is he, a solo guy now? Which one does he prefer more?
So,
if however you want to word that, I don't know.
I'm trying to understand your question, Grayson.
Like, because he played, minor league, which is a team. Now motocross, it's an individual sport. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously he likes moto better because he's still in it. But so then never mind that. Just ignore what I'm saying. I'm just rambling here.
Yeah, Grayson is trying to I'm trying to understand.
Trying
Grayson
to word
too.
it.
He's trying to word what I'm trying to word,
here, but I can't get it out.
He's like, what do you kind of enjoy more, like the whole team aspect when it comes to like, how you grew up in baseball and whatnot, and like in order to win, it's a team versus moto, it's individual. Like, is there anything you kind of prefer, if you can kind of understand the questions that we're trying to ask?
Yeah.
No, I totally understand it. What I prefer is every one of we have a team environment.
Yeah.
But everybody's on a different level.
Yep.
So, we have your Lincoln Brocker Jake Halls, your Jacob Badgley's, all these kids that are the Loretta type kids, and the Perkins, they all have their other level, but we have other kids that are at different levels in their journey right now. And the thing that motivates me the most is to watch every one of them succeed. So by being a team, every one of them is moving forward in their journey with motocross. And so it's not necessarily everybody's an individual on the track. Yes, they're always racing for 1, 2, or 3. Everybody wants to be first place, but to watch kids develop is the most motivating thing.
Nice. So my final question, since we're within 2 weeks now of regionals, do you have any bold predictions, or what do you want to see out of like your riders, and how do you think it's going to go for like, certain prospects that you've been like working with for the last couple of years, especially with Washougal coming up and they only take top 4 in each class?
Well, the thing with regionals is there's got to be perfection in the whole program. You have to have the bikes running perfect at all times. You can't have a mechanical. You have to have a good start because you're not making up a lot of time with bad starts at regionals like you can in a local race. You have to have a lot of luck where you're not, falling down. Something doesn't happen. So you got to put all those three things together. We have riders that are peaking at the perfect time. You want the rider to peak at regionals because that's the most stressful race. Loretta's isn't the stressful race. The regionals is the stressful race. That's where all the pressure is, just to get there, right? And then the pressure is kind of relieved. But I've got so many riders out right now that are on the bubble that could probably get in. I've got Henry Perkins that could get in both classes. I've got Jake Hall, who could be in for 125s, the super minis. Depends on which one he decides to do. Jacob Badgley's he's got a really good opportunity. Keone Council, he's got a good opportunity to get into his class in the 125C. I've got tons of 85 riders like Hunter Burlett and Jameson Pecanis they're all in the bubble.
You just spin the wheel and one of your four is likely going to be in there.
It's spin the wheel, and there's more. If I didn't name you, I'm sorry, but I promise you, I know we're running out of time. I could speak for hours, but every one of those kids that go under Nixon Ross, e-bike, he might be in. We might have 6 kids. We might have 1. It depends on how it shapes up, and that's Loretta's, A broken chain in the whoops could prevent you from going. So, yeah. But I think we're in a good position. We're peaking out where it counts, and that's how we've trained all year, so.
Grayson, your last question before we let Jason get back into the gym and train more people. Right. He's probably multitasking as far as I know.
He's probably.
I actually am. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you letting me come on, Steven.
Yeah.
And Grayson, and hope to come on in the future. And I appreciate everything you guys do.
Yeah.
All right, Grayson, go for it.
One last one because I kind of like to end it on a little random, a little bit. Since he was minor league player. We all know baseball players have superstitions. Does he have any from baseball or motocross that he has to do before he rides or plays baseball?
So he likes to throw an oddball question at the end. His question is, do you have any superstitions that you usually do, either coming from your baseball background or a motocross background? Do you have any superstitions that you have to do so everything goes according to plan?
No, I do not. I don't have any superstitions because I try to be prepared, and that's part of one of our pillars of training is to proper preparation. The one thing that I did, it's not a superstition, but it's part of my preparation is I wouldn't say this is the best thing, but before I kind of knew maintenance on bikes, I used to pressure wash a lot of the bikes, like Trey's bikes, really hard in between motos and stuff, and then all of a sudden I've got water in the carburetor when he's about to take off at the gate, and he's looking at me shaking his head, so I stopped doing that. So I'm not saying that's the best thing, but I'm not a big superstition guy. I'm more of a preparation guy.
Okay, cool. All right. For anyone that wants to follow your pages and whatnot, get a hold of you for training or come find you at the track, what's the best place for them to follow you?
Definitely on Instagram and Facebook, Next Level MX Clinics. We got a website, just add the .com at the backside of that. And, I'm at the track all the time. I'm an open book. I love talking to people and talking stories mainly. So anytime anybody wants to get a hold of me, I appreciate it, and don't be afraid to get a hold of us for our camps. And I will come down south, even though most of our stuff's up north, but I'd love to come down south. Training with Mike in Oregon a lot and some of his camps too. So, I really appreciate it.
Sweet. Well, thank you for trying the alternative way, which seemed to have worked here. The only one that kind of was out of the loop was Grayson, but we always put him on the back burner for joking manners too.
That's all right.
And I think I hit the wrong button. You did tell me, it's like, denied the camera because you're driving, and I think it denied both. And then once I denied it, I couldn't even log on. So.
Well, we'll have you on in the future as well when it gets to more of your camps coming up this summer, and then we got to talk about mini warriors. That's a whole another thing that we could talk for hours about.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, Steven, and everything you do, like I said, and for being a part of our program as well.
Sweet. I will see you at Washougal.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right. That is Jason Valley with Next Level MX Clinics. We still made it work, even though it was a little different. We only put you on the back burner. And then, my cute little design here where I just minimized you. I had to make it look good. It was getting a little, I am the big one.
It wouldn't be our podcast if we didn't have something happen.
Yeah.
But
so
that was cool having him on. Like, I've only known this guy, heard of him for about a year now personally, but he's got some experience, and it's really cool to hear how many people he's helping out.
Yeah, and that's something that, like, as we continue on with our podcast, which we'll make some announcements here probably next week on the future of the 30+2 podcast on where we're going to go. Just getting to know every single person on here and then giving the opportunities for everyone. That's my goal, at least. And this is not throwing shade to other places or whatnot, but some people don't get the opportunity to ever talk and, talk about cool things. Like, for example, we didn't even touch base on it. Like, Jason went to Monster Cup when that was a thing with Trey and raced against the Donut Boy and all this other stuff. Like, Trey raced some pretty good people in the super meeting class.
He was coming up in a really quick time, that's for sure.
Yeah, so much stuff. Like, we only scratched the surface because our 30+2 podcast only is an hour show. So we'll definitely be jumping in and rotate even with our guests again. I mean, Mike Smith's got so many stories that he may or may not want on camera. So
we could have like a 90s night and he just rambles for an hour.
Cool. Yeah. So for anyone that has suggestions or what you want in part of our podcast, as I start to get more time on my hands, I'm trying to put more into this as well and grow it to where we have videos and all that. It just takes time to learn and I kind of run out of time. So gonna try my best on there. What else do we want to chat real quick since we got about 8 minutes left?
We got it. Looks like Ashley got one here on, looks like through Facebook somewhere. They say they see you around the tracks from time to time, and am I from media? Kind of, sort of. I'm a part-time photographer. I even less than part-time sometimes, but once we hit summertime, it's go time usually for me, at least a few times a month, or Wednesdays down at Albany. I hit a couple Thursday nights up in Portland. If I can scrounge up the gas money and make my way to Washougal, I try to make it there a few times a year. So
he's very Oregon local. Oregon. You're a local photographer. I am
you're a Northwest.
I'm a Northwest photographer that goes all over the place and doesn't sleep.
I'm more of a Willamette Valley type of person. Like I was gonna stray out to Tillamook this year if Arena Cross was gonna happen, but I stick within from like the Washougal down to Eugene area primarily.
Yeah, so that's kind of a little bit. We try to get Grayson out of his cave, but he's such an introvert.
I've been working so much more now. It's hard. It's hard to do. But now we're getting into the summer, sunny weekends. I was trying to go to Albany this last weekend and everything canceled, like you said.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make our way down there this weekend if it still's running. I'm gonna try to make it this Wednesday. I miss being out there and seeing everybody and hanging out.
I haven't even been to a Wednesday night practice yet. So I can't do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Lauren would probably leave me a lot quicker. So
you're only home 2 days a week.
Yeah. That's we're working on life work balance still. So
that's tough. It is.
It's a very tough thing to do. but we are always working on that, and that's why I'm trying to make a lot more things automated. So so anyone that tries to get photos and whatnot, there's a couple things I just want to fire off real quick.
Go for it.
Automated systems, I'm trying to work on that with my website and whatnot, and purchasing photos. So if I'm not trying to sound like a dick when you message me like, hey, how do I buy this photo? I just say click card icon on the website. Like, I'm trying to kind of retrain and redirect how my business wants to move forward, as well as other businesses like that take on. And I know it's like, oh, but I love that customer service aspect. Like I do too, but there's only one of me at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And if you want reels done and stuff done, I have to make it rely more on the customer side. And I'm more than happy to help on that. So that's kind of my only thing of like, yeah, I know it kind of sucks when I just write the same thing. And then I think it's also, I know it's not even our crowd. It's the others. Like when you message any of the tracks or whatnot, and there's self-answerable questions by just going to the website, make sure you exhaust all resources first before just asking. So is there a race this weekend? And don't comment on the post that says the race is this weekend and then ask that. That just looks really silly.
But it's funny. The other day I texted you. I was like, oh, where are you going? And then I stopped for a second. I was like, wait, go check out his damn website. Don't be one of those guys. So I jumped over there real quick and I was like, no, never mind. I'm not going to be one of those.
Yeah, you knew it because you knew this was coming.
No, for sure. Like as soon as I hit send, I'm like, damn, I'm one of them right now. Like
that's all right. Melody did the same thing. I'm gonna blow him out on live.
But at least I caught myself and was like, whoa. Like, but yeah, if you need to know where Steven's gonna be, check out his website. He has a special tab. It's gonna tell you where he's gonna be every weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm bitching because I'm really not. I'm in a good mood today. I had Taco Bell. Okay, the only thing I did not like about Taco Bell was I got 2 burritos and came out to $10. I'm sorry, Taco Bell, but you are not $10 worthy, even though I paid it.
At least it's not no Wendy's. They're gonna try fluctuating the prices during busy hours. So they're going out of business.
I can make a Baconator too. You just get the meat, you put it on the patty, and you add bacon. Ooh. It's not that difficult.
Are you sure?
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, no, it's not that you're ranting or complaining. It just makes sense. You're a one-person crew, and you're, like you said, you're working 5, 6, 7 days in a row sometimes doing photos. It's tough, you know. You gotta do what you can to save some time for yourself. So if it's got to be a short, quick, response that seems a little from left field, then it is. But you're a one guy crew, and you're doing what you can, and people got to realize
I do enjoy it. I like the appreciations and questions.
You like being talked to a little bit.
Talk to me. I'm lonely. I just sit by the computer and make reels.
Yep. Pretty sure you're talking to your dog while you're sitting there all day, aren't you?
I mean, have you checked out my dog's Instagram? Hopping.
I think he's more popular than you are now.
He's got a prettier face, obviously. So signups are open for Thursday Night Motocross with me. Grayson's not doing anything. He just drives a truck and yells at grandmas. What a guy. Some signups are open for photos for Thursday Night Motocross. Of course, I always need 5 in order to attend because it gets hot and I'm an old man at this point. I don't like being sweaty at night. So if you want media, hit me up. Washougal has a Friday practice now. Check out WashougalMXPark.com, which is, I think, Washougal MXPK. Just type in Washougal MX Park. You'll find it.
Just Google it.
Google it and put it on there. And then Sean says work more because he knows that I have to get his reel done too, as well as a YouTube video. He's like, work boy.
He's just watching you over here slacking when you should be making his videos. Come on, man.
He's like, get to work, boy. Washougal happening round 3 and 4 of the Classic MX Classic Series. Wow, Brian, don't
Classic
fire
7.
me. I'm trying. Saturday and Sunday, and then PRO for those that are going there. That is an Airway. I did not queue up the commercial for them, so Ted, you can fire me too. I'm sorry. And then
Maybe you can play it afterwards.
I don't have time. I don't care anymore. I'm tired. Just like you. Gate Drop Showdown 2.0. That's coming up in September. I will keep hyping up on that. Talking about that, sponsors are open. Taco Bell should be motivation. Motivation to get to the toilet quicker. Yeah. So if you don't know what the Gate Drop Showdown 2.0 is, go to gatedropproductions.com, click on Showdown 2.0. It has majority information there. Super fun event. Lots of stuff going. Sean will be there. Jason and I are working on him being there. Grayson says he wants to be there.
I'll be there. I've already told my boss, no, we're not doing anything.
I'll have your boss come out too. Sponsors will be there. If you want to sponsor the series, I try to make this affordable, fun weekend. 2-moto format, Saturday and Sunday. You're champion at the end of the weekend, just kind of like the Verb Moto Paloozas and whatnot. I'm trying to bring that fun vibe. We have some changes going on, but yeah, sponsors are open. And anything else you want to do or talk about, Grayson, before I throw the commercial here and just click end?
Nope, I'm excited for it. I'm going to be there this year. I missed last year and it was a bummer, but I'm making my way there for sure.
All right, we're going to end it with a commercial because in order to pay for iStream, Gate Drop Productions pays for iStream. So Grayson and I are tuning out. We will announce the future of 30+2 podcast next week and continue to like and subscribe to us. Grayson, how do they follow you?
Follow me at gravy_648 on Instagram. I just started my threads as well, and I'm sure that's linked in my bio. So I know, right? I'm one of them now.
And follow GateDrop_Pro on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pigeon Mail.
Yep.
AOL.
Mail.
All that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for bearing with our technical difficulties. We made it work out, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Later.
Biggest what? Big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just two guys playing that they did in the studio. Usually send their verses back to me and they be terrible, just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women when they start debating about who the GOAT. I'm like, go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who you really rooting for? Like a kid that had been from January to November. It's just too cold.